and welcome to the Disney Countdown Show. Welcome. We are so excited to be doing this episode today. It's going to be absolutely so much fun. My name is Megan. I go by The Magical Millennial on the socials. And with me today is my co-host, the beautiful and lovely as ever, the dapper Danielle. How you doing today, Danielle?
I'm doing good, Megan. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. Y'all are listening currently to the Disney Countdown Show, and that is that same username on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, but we're Pod Disney over on the Twitters and the X or whatever it is. You know what I mean. Oh, gosh.
And we are joined today by our wonderful producer, Chris, who hails from Brooklyn, New York, and he's going to be helping us out with our very fun game later on, but we just want to introduce you to Chris so that he's not just going to be some random male voice later on.
We didn't realize that we know
hello.
Chris, and we just randomly been mentioning him in what it's been 7 episodes now of his magical voice just suddenly pops up. He's just like, "Hello, I'm here to host the game," and we're just like, "Oh yeah, we know him," but our followers might not know him. So yes, he is one of our producers. He's the one that's working in the background stuff. He's the one that mixes it all together and takes out my coughs and random stuff like that. He's the one that cuts it and makes us sound good. So he's the one that gets to come in and he gets to host our game. So I love that.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. And I'm here all the time just waiting for someone to mention me so I can say hello.
He's just waiting in the wing.
Silently there. The voice and the eyes and the ears, slowly just listening to everything that's happening in the background. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, but Chris is awesome. We talk and he makes it all sound very good. So thank you, Chris.
Yes. Well, now, Megan, I don't know if you heard about this, but as I'm talking about Florida becoming its own country and being falling off into the ocean and whatnot, we actually have broken. I think it's a record for us personally, but in the first couple of episodes when I talked about how we were being downloaded and listened to around the world.
Yes.
We are now up to 49 countries.
Almost 50. Okay.
Almost 50.
Oh,
have downloaded our podcast. Either all of our episodes or just random episodes. We have been listened to in over 49 countries.
That is insane. Thank you guys. And thank you so much for listening wherever you are. That is incredible. And hello to everyone across the world.
Croatia or Peru or Luxembourg, Nigeria, and New Zealand. There's some of our newest little family members coming and joining and listening to us. So I love
That's so awesome.
Everybody,
I do too. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh gosh, of course. The magical Disney vibes. And I'm so glad we get to spread those throughout the world. So thank y'all for listening. And those are all places I very much want to visit someday. I'm trying to travel more in my, I guess, later in life. My first country that I ever went to was Japan when I was 19. So I've been a few places since then, but I would love to go to Croatia, Peru, Luxembourg, Nigeria, and New Zealand. All of them. Honestly, I want to travel so bad.
Oh, it's true. It really is a small world after all, you know. And I don't I don't know, just some weird instances of people knowing other people. I don't know. It's been. Oh gosh, what was it? I've had a lot of people here recently stop me in the parks, and they're from like Australia and all these other places. And I'm just like, oh, hello, you are not my main demographic. So it's nice to meet you. So I know Megan, me and you, we can see our analytics on our social medias and we can see like where our main demographics are and who mainly follows us age wise or location wise. So to hear that there's other people from other parts of the world where it's not, I don't know. Where is one of your top demographic locations, Megan?
I have both the UK and Canada. I think a lot of people from the UK. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have a good amount of people from the UK, but my main demographic's New Jersey.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I love my Jersey babes, and I love that they love me. All the Jersey moms, they find me in the park and they come over, oh, Danielle, and I'm like, hello. It's crazy, but love them. So to hear somebody like a different country, because it's usually certain key cities, New Jersey, where was the other one? Houston, Texas, I think.
Oh, I need to check.
And then
I actually need
California.
to check my states. California is definitely top for me. I believe. I think California is the number one.
Well,
but in terms of international followers, it's UK.
Oh, okay. So interesting. I don't know. I'd have to double check mine. I think mine might also be UK. But that's such a broad range too of like, is the analytics actually just like is saying mostly England, or is it like other areas that are considered the UK? I don't know. See, we need more advanced analytics like that. But I'm glad that the Disney Countdown show does have a way for us to be able to figure out, okay, who's from where. So I think that's so cool. So again, thank you, fam. We appreciate that you're here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
Woo. And speaking of, I know we have a couple of reviews to go through, but I do want to shout out our new Patreon subscribers for joining our Disney Countdown Show Patreon fam. We have Paula, who just joined us. Thank you, Paula. Welcome to the family. And keep in mind, guys, that we are planning to do our first ever live virtual hang on Zoom very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that and make sure that you sign up and join our Patreon so you can join us and we can chat with you in real time.
Yes, I need to go through and do that. I try to make a habit of going through on the page, like our exclusive, because once you're on the Patreon, there's also, it gives you access to the exclusive Facebook page. I try to make sure I go through and like or comment as much as the interactions as I possibly can. And I'm so bad about getting on the Facebooks. But
Me too.
I try to make sure I go in there and I like communicate with everybody just to be like, hey, we appreciate that you're here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's I need to start doing that too.
But anyway, so Miss Megan, I see
yes.
Speaking of, you said we have some reviews?
We do. We have some more reviews. Thank you guys for leaving those on our show, wherever you're listening to the podcast. We super appreciate it. We definitely love hearing your feedback and getting your takes on our countdowns, or just, saying that you like the episode. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I guess I'll go to the first one here. This is from RL Lester. Oh, wait. Oh, I should know. I will say it because I'll do a little Danielle plug. He says, I follow Danielle. That's how I found this podcast, but not Megan. But after listening to Megan's list of top 10 rides, I totally agree with her picks and will find her on Instagram. Love hearing the choices of both these ladies and little tidbits of history. I love this review. Thank you so much for leaving this. Aww. And thank you for agreeing with me with my top 10 picks. That's really exciting.
But thank you for being one of my followers. Yeah, I appreciate that too.
And thank you for following Danielle. Yes. Oh, man.
Well, no, see, and it's so interesting to see like the different people of like, I have some of my followers that aren't aware of some of the Disneyland people, or even the Disneyland people aren't aware of some of the Disney World people. So I'm happy that this podcast is kind of bringing an interesting little mix, a little peppering in of our different followers. So I love that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I think we have.
So cool.
Who's this one by? Math Jen gave us a 5-star review, and I love her name because I can't do math, but if that's Jen, if you're like the math person, I'm proud for you because I can't do that. But she says, a truly delightful addition. Ooh, I love that. Having followed both Megan and Danielle on Instagram, I started listening to the podcast when the season launched. It's simply wonderful. The dynamic, the format, the news, the games, history. It's so entertaining. What about an episode on your favorite Disney-related myths? Ooh,
I love that as a list. We could totally do that. Jen. Oh my gosh. Okay, with the countdown.
Like the hauntings and whatnot?
Yeah, the hauntings, the stuff about like the dome over Disney World. We could totally do that.
I have a story about that.
I
have a good story about that, and how I actually convinced a guest when I was working as a cast member, and I got away with it.
You did.
I did. I really did.
Who would talk about that? Like, what cast member is actually going to go with the story?
It was me.
That's amazing.
Well, Megan, since I've been talking your ear off, do you have anything new to tell us about what's going on in Disneyland at all? Like, I know you've been working, like crazy working event here this past week or so.
Yes. Been working a lot, been at the parks a lot, which is great. So I'm staying up to date on everything that's, it's new, it's coming in. And I've been seeing the construction on Adventureland Treehouse and, of course, Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Tiana's Palace, which is going to open next week. Super exciting. And then, we got Halloween coming which is going to be open by the time this episode airs.
You got your pumpkin already, right?
Yes, we did. Blinky, our Mickey pumpkin, has been put up on Main Street, which is super exciting. That was August 28th. He came up and already taken pictures and everything.
Wow.
You know, it's always super fun to see him, and that's when you know that the season has really started. Because they got him.
He's so cute.
Isn't he cute? He's so cute. He's like winking on one side, and then he's got a nice smiley face on the other. So yeah, it's exciting. It's always like a nice, like, you know, cozy feeling when he goes up, because it's like, oh, fall's here, Halloween's starting at the parks. We love that. So that was cool. And
the you know, the blow mold lantern that we keep talking about every once in a while, like the big Mickey pumpkin guy that's like $75 in the merchandise stores.
Yeah.
So I was talking to someone in World of Disney. I went and looked at all the Halloween merchandise actually a couple days ago, and some lady asked me, she's like, why do we have this? And like, is it in reference to something? I'm like, well, it's a Mickey pumpkin. It doesn't have to reference anything in particular. But someone said, well, I saw a picture of it in a park. And I'm like, oh, you're talking about Blinky, the really big Mickey pumpkin that he's inspired by. That's not here. It's in Disneyland. And mind you, I am not a cast member. I am just literally staring at the Halloween merchandise. And I accidentally got tied into someone else's conversation in the middle of World of Disney and explaining, oh no, that's not ours. It's somebody else's. I've done that a lot this week. But yeah, so I had to explain Blinky and that is y'all's nickname for him, right?
yes, and I honestly don't know why, because Blinky is under the assumption that he's blinking, but that's a wink that he gives you, so it should be Winky. But I guess you can't say that, because that's also alludes to something a little more inappropriate. So I think Blinky is the compromise that we came up with. So it's Blinky on the one facing the train, and then on the side facing the castle, he's just like a nice little smiley face. So
okay, very nice.
He's got two sides.
See, and y'all had the weirdest nicknames for your stuff. I don't think we nickname a lot of stuff here in Disney World. Like you're like Maleficent and Murphy, for example.
Murphy.
With the
like, why was she named Murphy? I don't know.
Maybe it's because you guys are a smaller park that the cast member nicknames for those things go into like the general public also. That's my assumption.
Oh yeah, it would probably spread like wildfire. Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
It's
like,
just
I know
like everything's really tighter knit in the Disneyland community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're here in Disney World. I know we cast members had names and stuff for everything, but I don't feel like the general public knew anything about it, because we are so much bigger and our community is much bigger also. So it's not as like mainstream news as like Blinky and Murphy was to everybody else.
Yeah, I know. I don't get that sense either. It's like way more just, you know, it's within the cast member community over there for sure. Yeah, sure. Stays there. But yeah, so Halloween's coming up, and we got Oogie Boogie next week and Tiana's. It's going to be a wild couple weeks, and then we'll be in the full Halloween season swing. Yeah. So, yeah, very excited.
Where I'm just like, oh yeah, we're already halfway through Halloween over here at Disney World. Disneyland's just now getting started with their Halloween vibes.
Yep, I know. And I guess, I don't know, do you want to get into some Disney news? Because this is part of my next little bit that I had done.
Yeah, let's jump into some Disney news.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. What is your breaking news, Miss Megan, today?
Yes. So this was a good little segue, because I've been keeping up every single day with how this is progressing. But San Francisco Square is opening in Disney's California Adventure in 2 days. It will be open by the time this episode airs. And it's so exciting because everything is going to be open. They've been working so hard to get this complete. They literally just finished the bridge, which is crazy, 2 days before.
Wow.
I know. So the bridge is done. And Cass's Cafe has yet to be, I think, the signs need to come down. There's like covers over the signs. That's the last thing that they have to do. And some of the walls where you're going to meet Baymax in a little meet and greet, Baymax and Hero, over by Cocina Cucamonga. And I'm just so excited to see everything and to meet Baymax. There's a new Baymax bread even coming. Like, if you've seen the Mickey loaves that we have, the sourdough bread, there's going to be one in the shape of Baymax with his little little eyes. Like, I think they're olives for his eyes. And I just can't wait. And that's one of the first things I will be getting when it opens on the 31st. Right? Yeah, it's so cute.
When I go out there to Disneyland, the Mickey bread and the sourdough bread, it do be hitting different. Yeah. And the fact that there's going to be one of the Baymax size now, like, oh, I need to go get the loafy boy. He's already so squishy, and now I need a loaf version of him. Oh,
right?
I love that.
He's going to be a little loaf, a little sourdough bread loaf. Ugh. And yeah, the Boudin, I believe, is still, that's going to be the manufacturer for the bread and the sourdough bowls that we have. So that's going to remain, which is really cool because Boudin's the best. But yeah, it's going to be in the shape of our lovable Baymax, which I cannot wait for. So that's another huge thing coming this week. And by the time you all hear this, you will see probably a lot of things on the socials about San Francisco Square. So
I'm sure.
I can't wait to show you.
And that's what's funny. So that opens up September 2nd, or is it September 1st?
It is August 31st, the day before Halloween officially starts at the Disneyland Resort.
Wow. See, there's going to be so much. By the time, again, after this episode airs, all this would already have happened. But I'm going to go ahead and apologize not in advance, post this stuff happening, that you're going to have so much stuff about San Francisco, and then you're going to have so much about Halloween over in Disneyland. And then also that's when September 1st is when the people and the social media teams that have officially seen Moana Journey of Water here in Epcot, we can finally talk about what we've seen and start posting that. And you're going to see all the cast member previews and all this other stuff. So you're just going to have a lot of information thrown to you, or you might have had it thrown to you this past week. And for that, I am sorry. It's going to be very repetitive. And I don't know. I think for my personal content, I will be covering some of that, like the Moana stuff, but I'm going to try to talk about other things just to pepper it in there so it's not the same thing over and over and over again, on the socials.
Yes. I will try to do the same as well. It's going to be a lot of Halloween food reviews from me, but that'll be sprinkled over time. So it's not going to be
that's
all in
what some of your people want to see too. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Now we'll get through the list pretty, at a good speed, I think. Of the foods.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of like new things opening and whatnot, there is a kind of like a timeline that has officially kind of been released.
Ish.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Yeah. I did see this article yesterday of very vague dates for new attractions and
this is
rides.
for everywhere. It's Disney World, Disneyland, Hong Kong, Shanghai.
The cruise line. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cruise line is in there too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's everywhere, and it's really exciting. I obviously we know about the World of Frozen, which is coming to Hong Kong, which looks absolutely amazing. That's coming soon. That's basically almost done, and so you have a whole Arendelle in Hong Kong, which is really cool.
So Hong Kong, and then Tokyo is getting Fantasy Springs.
Fantasy Springs, yes, which also looks amazing.
That's the Rapunzel. They're getting the first Rapunzel ride. Is going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I've been getting messages from so many people as soon as this news has been breaking of this timeline of things that are going to be opening, but they're all in the global parks instead of the ones here in the U.S. I have been getting so many messages, Megan. I don't know if you've been getting messages too, of just people that are like,
here and there.
Why can't we have these things? And on the list, for example, right? It does say that World Celebration for here in Walt Disney World is supposed to open up late 2023. So it is supposed to open up sometime this year. We still don't know when though.
Yeah, no, it's very, again, super vague. There are certain things that are a little more concrete, like the let me see here. Fantasy Springs, we know spring 2024. World of Frozen is opening November, but we only have the year. Tiana's Bayou Adventure 2024 for both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. And then Adventureland Treehouse, which has...
They don't even give time of year.
No. Adventureland Treehouse, which is supposed to open up this year. So we have 4 months left. It's been worked on for literally a year and a half now. And that will open later this year, which
it's
essentially
literally a fiberglass tree. How hard is it? I don't know.
Isn't that funny? They did remove a whole portion of it. There's no bridge anymore, so I get that. But there,
I don't
but
know.
we're
I
going
shouldn't-
back to the same thing, the
I
same
shouldn't
theme
be
that
so
we had.
salty because we know that there is a lot of work and a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I do feel like for some of these things, like I think they're just having to go through so much red tape to be able to get this up and going. It should not take this long for some of these things. One of them being the treehouse.
The treehouse, I know. And I know they're super focused on Tiana's. I get it. I don't know, which team is working on which, because I think we have some crossover with actually Tiana's up on both coasts. I think there's quite a few customers that are working on both. So I have a feeling yours is going to open first because you closed first.
That don't mean nothing.
I don't know. You guys seem to have a little bit more progress than we do at this point, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think a lot of that boils down to the different building unions and like all this other kind of stuff. So unless there's some major difference between the California and the Florida unions, that's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know. But at this point, it's been taking them this long to build Moana Journey of Water, and we're still in preview phases of it. So
I know that is true.
Again, I'll believe it when I see it, and
I
don't like being that negative. Usually, I'm very positive, like, "Oh my goodness, yes, blah blah blah." No, we got to chop. We got to get up on this. Ridiculous.
I know, and it'll happen. It'll open when it opens. There was also, the Disney Treasure that's coming out. I guess it says the fiscal year of 2025, so that's exciting. A whole new cruise ship.
Broad range.
It is a broad range, yes, it is. But I guess some people got a little sneak peek at what's to come. I think the announcement of what's going to be on the Treasure is coming very, very soon.
Or has it already released this past couple days?
Did it release? Oh, I thought they were doing a full broad thing of what they're going to have.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen that yet. I've seen some of the sneak peek picture previews and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed that. Yeah.
But that could be all I've seen. I don't know. It could be the same thing that was posted back in D23. It's just being recycled again. Speaking
possibly, yes,
of D23.
Yes.
So everybody kind of knows. So for those that do not know, D23 is kind of like the big Disney nerd fan event, right? And they usually have the really big event over in California, and that happens every 2 years. So in the off year, since the big convention was in 2022, the smaller convention happens in 2023, and it's actually going to be happening the week that this episode launches. So it's going to be on September 8th, 9th, and 10th, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's ridiculous about this is that, I don't know, you can eat our friend Cole Bippity Boppity Beard.
Mm-hmm.
He is very opinionated about this, and so am I. This is one of the main reasons why Florida does not have a lot of D23 members. We do, but not in the same capacity as California, because our events that are here in Florida are so much smaller. And it's why would you spend all this money to go to this when it's it's okay?
Yeah, it is small.
It's very small. It is in the Contemporary conference hall, which is the oldest one on property.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So where we have so much bigger convention halls of over at Coronado Springs and all these other things, that's how there's not much being brought to the table of this convention when it's only being held over in Contemporary Resort.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I honestly, I did not know where it was even located. So
yeah. So in the Contemporary, in the main what the main microwave is, I think what some people call it. It looks like a microwave to some people, or not a microwave, a toaster. In the main toaster,
yes,
there is the lobby level. There's another level, and then on the third floor is this conference level before you actually get into the main lobby. Or is it the second floor? Second floor. And then there's the main lobby, and the rest of the hotel is up above you. So in the very middle heart of the Contemporary Resort is this conference hall. Fun fact, that is where Nixon gave the I'm Not a Crook speech.
Yes.
Was actually there in the Contemporary Conference Hall.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think it's interesting that the smallest and oldest convention center is holding one of the largest D23 events, or supposed to be, as I'm using air quotes, supposed to be in Florida. And I'm come on, guys, let's do a little something else. So if you are going, you're gonna have to send me a DM and let me know if you enjoyed your time there, or if what your opinions are about it, because I'm just genuinely curious. I am not a D23 member for the reason of I don't get any personal benefit out of it being here in Disney World. But for those of you that are, I'm happy for you. But
it's going to be a little different than what's out here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Okay.
Well, and besides my ramblings, any other, talking more about Disney World. So moving on from that stuff, let's talk about stuff that we actually genuinely love and enjoy. And that is food.
Yes, food. The food. Oh my gosh. It looks good over there in Walt Disney World. You guys got some good stuff coming.
You say this, but a lot of this stuff, it is very pretty. I will say we have some fantastic culinary people and they are so on top of it. But a lot of this stuff is not honestly my personal favorite. Now, if there is a list, somebody has made a complete list of all these different snack items and when they release and whatnot. Some of the best ones are over at the Ganachery, right? The Ganachery is in Disney Springs. And when do these I think they release now until, or no, some of them are not arriving until September 6th. So right after this podcast release, they'll be arriving September 6th through October 31st. And one of my favorite items, let me make sure it's still going to be here. Yes, the caramel ganache chocolate skulls.
Ooh, which look amazing.
Yeah, I know you can see the picture right here, and they're like so detailed, and they actually look like little skulls. They have a rose gold like powder coating over top of them, so they actually shimmer. These are something I get every single year, and so these are so popular. They're only available October 1st through October 31st.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
So the Ganachery, since it is a smaller location, they only do X amount of things and they make them daily and whatnot. But these are so good. It is 65% dark chocolate and they're infused with caramel ganache.
Oh my goodness. They are so good. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm just making everybody hungry here. I'm so sorry. But a lot of places are in Disney Springs are getting a lot of exclusive stuff like Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar. The where is it? The oh gosh, I'm thinking hard. We have a Dole Whip section. Swirls on the Water. That's it. Swirls on the Water is where we also can get Dole Whip in Disney Springs. They're going to have some exclusive flavorings there as well, and like Haunted Mansion themed cones and apple cider slush and whatnot. So Disney Springs is going to be getting a big chunk of the food, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. The Disney Springs and a few of the resorts is what it looks like. Yeah,
a few of the resorts. The parks themselves honestly don't get a lot of love when it comes to some of the exclusive food because they're keeping it all special for the Halloween party. So that's the benefit of like the parks is that if you want the Halloween exclusive, you only can get that out the Halloween party, and the other parks aren't necessarily going to promote it, I don't believe.
Got it. Okay.
So really Disney Springs is going to be the place to be.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the opposite over here. It's like Oogie Boogie. They have a few like special treats at the actual party, but mostly the treats are available at all times throughout the Halloween season. So that's very interesting.
Yes. I don't know. I think the way our culinary and stuff works is so different compared to our two coasts and whatnot. Even when it comes to like, what is it? Confectionery and whatnot. Yes. So y'all's confectionery is actually food union, where ours is merchandise union. So a lot of stuff has actually been taken away from what can be made in-house versus what's made by a third party and then brought in, especially post Panini. So it's the differences are so intriguing of like who can get what and why.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it comes down to the fact that our parks are they're just different. You got the international people and we got the locals. That's right. That's what it comes down to. I have one more thing before we get into our game, Danielle, and this was something that we just found out, literally breaking news today. This will not be breaking news on the day you all hear this, but this is the week prior. So we just found out that there is going to be an expansion to the Haunted Mansion grounds at Disneyland, which is honestly a very smart move as it comes to the top of my head, a very smart move in my opinion, because, and I was just talking about this with a friend, essentially the space out front of Haunted Mansion where the fountain is, I don't know if you guys can picture this if you've been to the park recently, it's the space in between what's going to be Tiana's Palace and Haunted Mansion. There is kind of a dead space in there that has the Haunted Mansion popcorn stand and a fountain, and everything else is used for an outside queue that's not really a part of the ride. It's just kind of like ropes that go back and forth and zigzag, and that is very heavily used for Haunted Mansion Holiday. So I think what they're trying to do is take the queue and move it back and include that fountain in the queue, and there be a much smaller space in between both the restaurant and the ride now. So they're going to move that space forward, and then they're also going to use the old FastPass distribution kiosks that were for Splash Mountain and the cart that's over there for merchandise, and they're going to make a whole new store. They're making an actual mini store next to the exit of Haunted Mansion. And right now, looking at the concept art, it looks really good, and it looks like that this is something that I think around the mansion will be a smarter use of the space, because again, the FastPass distribution system for Splash, at least over there towards the entrance of the ride, has not been used for years. You used to be able to get your FastPasses or lightning lanes over by Winnie the Pooh on that side, not the actual front of the line. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. I'm really excited to see what this expansion could look like, and also when they're going to start it, because like obviously we got to get to the holidays before they even think about doing anything like this.
Are you going to do the queue at the same time that Haunted Mansion Holiday is going on, when that's like the busiest that attraction is, or do you when Haunted Mansion Holiday goes away?
I think they'll start it. Yeah,
start it then.
I think they'll start it then. Yeah.
Then it's already closed. And I feel like a storefront now, unless it's an actual like store, if it's just a kiosk area that they're just rebuilding over there next to it for the Madame Leota's themed like gift shop, it looks like. Yeah. Like, is it an actual storefront like with air conditioning, or is it just a cart?
It looks like it's got doors. It's got a roof. I think it's going to have AC. Yeah.
See, maybe with how small it is, I'm giving them again too much benefit of the doubt of maybe they can get it up quicker. You never know. Maybe. And get that functioning. I feel like the queue line will be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I think so too.
If you look at the images, what I commented on originally was that they actually are putting up walls around this garden area. And it looks like they're trying to reduce the amount of line hopping that happens during peak season by actually putting up physical barriers and breaking up the line a little bit more, which I think is genius.
Yeah. Right. And it doesn't look good when that area is completely packed with people. Like it's very intimidating when you look at it during a 90-minute Haunted Mansion line. It's like, oh my God, there's no way I'd want to wait in that. So moving it back and having a wall be up basically to get to this part of the queue, I think it's gonna look better for the park. And I don't know, I feel like it simply is a better use of the space that's just sitting there mostly throughout the year. So yeah,
it's a welcome change. It's something that I feel like the Disneyland people will be very excited about.
I hope so. I hope people are not going to be like, no, don't change anything about the mansion. Like, why would you knock things down on such a historic attraction? And it had nothing to do with the ride itself. It's just the queue that I do think they need to improve. Especially during the holiday season when it gets so busy. And I don't think they need to, I'm like looking at it now, I don't think they need to close the ride. I think they might move the queue elsewhere to like try to maneuver people around the area. I don't think they need to close the ride.
You can move it over in front of Splash if you really needed to, because there's nothing going on over there anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, they'll figure it out. But I think it's a good idea. Really. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah.
I'm excited for that. I think that was good breaking news.
Yeah. Kind of, that's fun to learn about. And especially since that area is undergoing such major transformations anyway and overhauls, it'll be kind of like the final piece in the New Orleans Square area. So that'll be cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps up our news, and we're going to head into a game. Now, here in just a little bit after the game, we're going to be bringing in our good friend, Mr. Eric. Beastly Appetite is going to be joining us for a couple of, just talking, chatting with him. We love him. He's one of our good friends, and we are going to also listen to, I have a game for him too. We're going to save that game for later, though. And then we also have his top 5. So, but we have a game. I think Chris has a new game for us. I'm pretty sure this is brand new, right?
Yes.
The music
He has
stays.
arrived.
The music
There
stays.
he is.
Yeah, we have a brand new game. We're going to play a brand new game today. This game's called The Dating Game.
Ooh, I love some jazzy music.
Before you get the wrong idea, it's not that kind of a dating game. This game is going to be testing your knowledge of Disney history, and for this episode, it's specifically Disneyland and DCA. I'll be giving you 3 milestone events, and it'll be up to you to put them in chronological order. If you can't do it, I'll lock in one of your dates and give the other person a chance to steal, and we'll take turns. I think we'll start with Danielle this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. The one where I don't know my Disneyland dates right off the top of my head as well. So we'll see how this goes.
This is interesting. Okay. I'm excited.
So we'll do the Tiki Room opens,
Okay.
Disneyland Kennel opens,
Kennel.
and 15 millionth guest admitted.
Where's the kennel at?
That's to the right of the entrance of the park.
Okay.
So Kennel, 15 million, and the Tiki Room opens.
Okay. Tiki Room open, 15 million, and kennel.
There it is. Unfortunately, it is incorrect. We'll do, Megan, would you like the first, second, or third event locked in?
Second, please.
A little bit of a hint. So the second event, I'll even tell you the year, 1959, 15 millionth guest admitted.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Am I allowed to hear Danielle's again?
So I originally said it was Tiki Room, 15th million guest, and then the kennel. That was my 3.
Okay, so
So which one do you want locked in?
It's right there.
it's Kennel, 15 millionth guests, and Enchanted Tiki Room.
That was it.
Okay. Really? I didn't know the Kennel came that early.
People like to travel with their dogs back then, right? It's always weird when
I
people
guess
like going on
so.
vacation with their animals. Strange.
Did they go with their... See, I feel like that's such a modern thing, like nowadays, of like, oh, people traveling with their pets and whatnot.
Now they would try to take them into the park.
Yeah, okay. Also didn't know that the 15 millionth guest was that early as well. I thought it was like the 60s, but wow, okay.
Because, oh, wait, so when did y'all's Enchanted Tiki Room open? That was right afterwards, in like
61?
62? 61?
62?
63.
63. Oh, okay. Well, okay. This is a good little history.
Let's do some more modern ones for the next one. This one is Megan's turn.
Okay.
We have World of Color debuts at DCA.
Okay.
Cars Land opens. And A Bug's Land opens.
It's Bugs Land, World of Color, and Cars Land.
Crushed it. She didn't even flinch.
Megan.
That is literally my entire high school and childhood.
All right, so then going over to Danielle, we have Bear Country renamed Critter Country, Pan Pacific Hotel renamed Disneyland Pacific Hotel, and Sunkissed Citrus House replaced by Blue Ribbon Bakery.
Now, hold on a daggum minute. How come Megan got the easier ones and she's the local over there? And then you're like, oh no. Like, I mean, yes, I am the Disney
'Cause
nerd
she
and I
knows
am
her
very much
history.
like, I do know my Diz history, but not when, like, I know my park like the back of my hand, but when you go to, like, down to specific name changes of certain locations and hotels, how dare you, Mr.
This
Chris?
is so
Okay.
funny. Oh my god, this is hard.
This may be my opus, stemming back all the way from season 2, episode 1, where you dogged me on the questions being too easy. So maybe this will be the last time I'll make them super hard.
This is his revenge. This is his revenge.
This is it. This is how I end it.
Yeah.
So we'll go one more time. Bear Country becomes Critter Country. Pan Pacific Hotel becomes Disneyland Pacific Hotel. And Sunkissed Citrus House is replaced by the Blue Ribbon Bakery.
I think I know the answer actually.
Where is the Blue Ribbon Bakery at? I'm trying to figure out where these are located.
I don't think Blue Ribbon exists anymore, does it?
It doesn't.
I would assume that
I don't
it
think
does
it
not
does.
exist anymore.
No, that sounds like it was Jolly Holiday. No. Nope, I'm incorrect on that. Don't ignore me.
Is it in DCA or in Disneyland?
This is all Disneyland.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, we're just going to go out on a whim.
do it.
And we're going to say Blue Ribbon first, the Citrus one second, and then the Critter Country Bears last.
That would be wrong. So close, and it's great guessing.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the Critter Country one's last.
I think that one is last too.
Because that happened in the 80s.
Right. Late 80s. I'm going to say it goes Pan Pacific, then Blue Ribbon, then Critter Country.
And that is wrong too, unfortunately.
This is hard, man. I should have done a lock. I should have done a lock-in. Whoops. I didn't even get my hint.
You better give me a hint.
Yeah, give Danielle.
Now it's my turn.
Danielle, let's go ahead and give you a nice hint. I'm going to lock. Should I lock in 2? Would that help you?
That don't help me. Now that's just rude. That's just rude. Just be like, oh, well, do you want me to just give you the answer?
So I will. You said the. Which one did you think was last?
We think Critter Country's last.
Well, I'll tell you right now that in this timeline, Critter Country is first. And that happened in 1988.
Whoa.
So I was correct. It was in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then which order do you think? You think Sunkist Citrus Hotel was replaced by the Blue Ribbon Bakery came first? Or do you think that the Pan Pacific Hotel was renamed Disneyland Pacific Hotel?
I think
I was not even alive when that was the name.
Pacific Hotel and then the other one.
That is going to be incorrect. Which leaves...
Seriously?
Yes, which leaves in 1988, Bear Country was renamed Critter Country. 1989, Sunkist Citrus House was replaced by Blue Ribbon Bakery. And in 1995, Pan Pacific Hotel was renamed Disneyland Pacific Hotel.
Was the Disneyland Pacific Hotel, is that where Paradise Pier Hotel is? Is that it?
The only information I have is that it used to be where Pan Pacific Hotel was.
So then yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So they literally happened within a year or so of each other, though.
The Pan Pacific
took
place
Pan
in
Pacific.
1995, so there's a 6-year gap between that stuff. But
Okay.
still pretty close. So let's try one more. This one's going to be are we starting with Megan for this one?
Me.
Got it.
Yes.
We have Rocket Jets closes, the Skyway closes permanently, and Rocket Rods closed to never reopen.
The sky. Okay. The rocket jet. Sorry, what was the first one?
Rocket Jets closes.
Rocket. What the heck is Rocket Jets? This sounds like it's in order already, but it's not, right? You wouldn't say them in order.
No, I think it is.
I would, but I didn't do it for this time.
Okay. I'm gonna. What the frick is Rocket Jets? Sounds like Astro Orbiter, but I'm gonna go and mix it up here. Skyway closes, Rocket Jets, then Rocket Rods closes.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You
I actually just made a video. I just made a video on the Skyway, on the Sky Buckets. So I did have a little bit of advantage there.
Yes.
I actually did my research on that. And I also rode Rocket Rods myself. And I
Oh,
remember when
the
it closed.
Rocket Jets were, you know how we have we have Astro Orbiter on top of our building over here in Disney World.
Yeah.
That was your building, and it was the giant rocket ship that had the same pieces also. That was on top of one of your buildings over there in Disneyland. That's what Rocket Jets was.
Okay. Now, was that our old Astro Orbiter? Is that what it... Or was it just a completely different thing?
No, it's completely different. Like, it's on top of... It looks like it was on top of...
The People Mover building. The actual transit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where like ours is, because our Astro Orbiter is your Rocket Jets over on top of our People Mover building.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's what yours was. Okay, that makes sense.
And that's it.
Sorry, Danielle. That was a tough one.
Rude. Give Megan the attraction ones. I would have gotten that last one. I will say that. I was like, oh no, it's that word. I would have been correct if you would have given that one to me, but no, you gave me the weirdo ones. And would you have partnerships that we know?
Would you have gotten DCA correct as well? Did you have Bugs Life? You had that one? Okay.
Yes, I did. I'm like, rude. Chris is out to get me, I think is what it is.
That was your revenge on saying his questions were too easy the first time.
Chris, I won't let you host the next game when Eric comes. I'm going to host the next game. How does that sound?
That's fine. I guess that's fine.
Permanent host.
Okay.
Thank you.
I shall take over. But that was a good game. That was a good one. That jotted my memory and made me want to look into some other things. So that I guess it was fine.
Yeah. Now we know about the Pan Pacific and the citrus thing.
Don't even know what it is.
Well, we know about them.
Blue Ribbon Bakery. What if Blue Ribbon Corn Dogs is still a thing that exists in Downtown Disney? I know that. Is that where they got their name? Blue Ribbon?
Maybe.
Yeah, see, I thought Blue Ribbon was an ice cream for the longest time. I don't know. I'll do my
Blue
research
Bunny?
later on. It might be a random Disney thing later on because I'll be so heated about this. So if you see that topic pop up later on, y'all, that's why I started looking into this, because it was this episode.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Well, let's go ahead and move on in,
right.
because I think we have our friend about to join us.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's welcome in Erick, shall we?
Well, look what the cat just drug in all the way over from Anaheim area. Well, actually, Erick, are you even over in the Anaheim area right now?
I'm in Chino right now.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm so unfamiliar with California and what areas or wherever, but now Erick is here on the podcast. Welcome, my friend. It is so good to see and talk to you again, because it's been a hot minute for me personally, my guy. So it's good to see you.
It's been a hot minute. It has been. So good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And yes, now have you seen Megan here recently in the parks? I know Megan, you both have been working and doing stuff.
For
like
me,
crazy.
I think I saw Erick last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last week. We try to see each other like at least like every other week or every week, essentially. But yeah, that's basically how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been fun. We recently actually started new jobs, both of us. So it's been a little busy, but we still try to make some time for Disney friends, you know?
Yes.
But every time I go, I'm like, oh, Megan, you here? Just like,
Yeah.
no, I'm at work. I'm like, all right, cool. You hate me. That's fine.
And you're like, no, it's just we both have like bigger schedules now, and we're doing stuff and trying to be like adulting. The struggle is
Basically.
We're trying to afford our Disney lifestyle. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I
hey, you got to
know.
pay for that magic key somehow. You both you
Somehow.
both renew here recently?
Oh, you just
I
reminded
just
me. I
did.
have to renew my pass.
Erick! When's your expiration date?
September 14th.
Oh, you
September
got time.
14th.
Never mind. You're fine.
So
You're
it's-
good.
I
still
was
have
waiting for him
time.
to be like, oh, it's September 1st. It's like tomorrow.
I know.
It's
Today was
tomorrow, but, like-
technically today was mine, but I renewed last week, so I'm good.
Good.
Oh my.
Yeah.
No, I'll do it at some point.
Well, I realized we've gotten this far in the conversation, and I haven't. Erick, do you want to introduce yourself to tell the people randomly who
By
you
the way,
are and why you're
everyone,
even
this is
talking to
Erick.
us? As we're just
Hello,
like
everybody.
casually having conversations, because we're just like, oh yeah, no, like this is totally fine, this is totally normal for us. But like people that are coming into the podcast right now, they're like, who's this dude? And how do Megan and Danielle know him? So if you want to
Oh
introduce
no, this is
yourself,
great. This is
Mr.
like
Erick.
this is like having a coffee with some of my best friends. So I actually enjoyed this. This
Cheers.
is great. So my name is Erick, aka Beastly Appetite. Yeah, that's me. I do a lot of Disney food. And also best places to poop at Disney.
That is Erick's bread and butter. Is his how to find the best bathrooms and the best.
I
places
did
to
not
poop.
think that would take off as much as it did. And
You know.
I made that as a joke, and I made it just for myself because I thought it was hilarious. And
It
then
is
one thing
hilarious.
led to another. It blew up. It got picked up by some news media outlet. I think Complex reposted it, and some other website from Australia did, and then it just went all the way around. BuzzFeed actually took it in as well. And then,
Oh
now I'm here.
That's so crazy.
I didn't
I
know
mean, it's
about
awesome.
that.
Like that's your thing. That's literally people
It's-
will stop you in the parks and be like, "Yo, where's the best bathroom from here?" Like,
Yeah, it's literally that. And at work, they do the same thing as well. When I'm there, they're like, hey, where's the best place to poop here? I'm like, actually, and they're like, maybe right over there.
And you're like, well, what kind of experience would you like? Would you like to have more of an Adventureland background music theme, or would you like to have Main Street USA music?
No.
You're right in between two. It's really depending on your experience that you want while you're having a number
man.
two. That's hilarious. I mean,
I just think it's
it's
so
great.
funny.
yeah,
It's amazing. I've had plenty of amazing opportunities just because of what started in the beginning, and now it led me basically to this right here. So
Yeah.
it's funny. Like, if I didn't do that, it wouldn't have led me to like maybe you, Danielle, or maybe you, Megan, as well. So it's like it's just funny.
yeah.
how did
No,
I
it's
first meet
amazing.
you, Erick? I've met you when I was out there in Disneyland, I believe, before you came over here to Disney World, correct?
I thought I met you at Disney World? No, Disneyland. Was it
It
at
was during
Disneyland?
that
I think
when
it
I
was
was there for
Disneyland.
Dapper Days.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. That's what it
That's when I
was. And then we got
first met
to
you.
and then we got to hang out over when we were in Disney World.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I remember that.
It's all a blur to
Oh.
me now. I can't even keep track of it anymore. And then I'll send you randomly. I sent Megan, I don't know if you knew this, but back when Facebook Reels, and I was trying to figure this out too. Eric actually does very well on Facebook Reels, if you did not know this.
I know he
And
does.
I don't know how to operate the Book of Faces or anything like that. So I was trying to type this out. I'm like, I cannot put together the words to explain what I need. So I just sent him voice video messages being like, Eric, I need technical help to see if this is uploading right. And Eric's just like responding back while he's on his run. It's so funny. So
That's
that's
so
my
nice.
relationship
Oh
with
my
Eric.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it's-
That's really cool.
That's so funny. Facebook Reels, that's a big one as well. YouTube Shorts, that's one that I was trying to get into for a little bit, but
Our content
Yeah.
just doesn't
I'll-
do well on YouTube Shorts. I don't know why.
It's
it
just
doesn't.
hard. Yeah.
It's harder on there. I think I had 2 videos blow up on there, and it was the one of Mickey dancing,
Mhm.
and then after that was basically it. So it was like my style of videos now, it's mostly vlogging, and I like doing that every now and then. I used to post every day, but now I think I'm posting every other day. And it makes it a little bit better for myself because I can focus on the quality, and I can focus on editing, and I can focus on what I think looks pretty okay. And
that's good.
yeah, keeps my sanity when I'm doing that, and I'm doing the Instagram for my job as well. So
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're also doing the media for the bar. Do you want to promote that at all real quick and say, hey, you should
Oh,
go check
yes.
that out if you're in there?
if you're ever in the Anaheim area visiting Disney, Villains Brewing is a great place over there. Very family friendly and has good barbecue, good beers, good seltzers. Yeah, come over.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good spot. I love it
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out next time I'm over there on y'all's coast and
Please.
whatnot. Yeah.
Please,
It's
please do.
super fun. They have like the artwork there is so cool. The seatings, they have a lot of seating. It's
There's
nice.
a Darth Vader mural over there too. There's
Mhm.
going to be a speakeasy inside that little house that's inside, so it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're already
Oh,
getting
yeah,
on
yeah.
expansions. We love that. Yeah.
I know. But yeah.
Now, Eric, I don't know, so I kind of know Megan's story of how,
Yeah.
both of us, we grew up with Disney. Did you grow up with Disney, though?
Yeah, I grew up at Disney. I always had a pass up until I was maybe 15. And then after a while, I went through my whole teenage, emo gothic where I was like, nah, I don't want anything happy. I want to be gothic now. And I have pictures of me when I had my hair down this direction. I'll
that's
just
great.
keep doing that hair movement.
The early
my God.
2000s bangs in front of the one eye.
Early 2000s, Panic at the Disco. I had my nails black as well. Oh man, those are the days. Anyways,
Nice.
but I didn't have a pass for maybe 4 or 5 years. Moved to Montana for 3 years, came back, and I just realized I missed Disney. And that was the place where all of my celebrations, all of my family reunions were over there. Anytime I was sad, I would go there. Anytime I was happy, I would go to Disney. So then it's like, you know what? Passes are up, and I'm like, I can pay for one. So let's do it. So I did
have
it, and
adult
then
money now. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and
I
get
have
one.
adult money. I have money that's adulting. Anyways, but yeah, it's ever since then, I've just been at Disney having fun and eating all the food that I can.
Oh yeah. That's what we do
Yeah.
best. Yes.
Yeah, all the foods.
Yes. Now, I was going to say, is there anything that I guess we're going to be playing a game here with you, Eric. I hope you don't mind. Do you want to go ahead
Oh, I
and
don't
jump
mind.
into this game? Speaking of Disney foods, I think this is
Let's
a good
do
it.
segue
Ready.
into this. So
Let's do
I
it.
have the Wheel of Destiny, is that what we're calling it right now? But I want y'all, Megan and Eric, I want you guys to play this, and I shall be the hostess of the mostest for this game. And it's going
Oh,
to
yeah.
be Smash or Pass Disneyland Food Edition. So
Got it.
all these
Ooh.
things, I believe you two are the experts of. There are some things that I have tried, but I have not tried everything on this menu. So that's why I'm going to host this and ask your opinion for next time that I'm there. Is basically why I'm doing this. And to everybody else in the chat right now that's watching or listening, Danielle still has not booked her dates yet. However, she is actively talking with some hotels out there and might be doing some stuff here soon.
Nice.
So I will hopefully have some info for you very,
Nice.
very soon.
That's exciting. Oh my gosh.
Well, Eric, if you would like to go ahead and spin the wheel first as our special guest, so go ahead and take a spin on the wheel of destiny.
Ooh.
Candy apple. Eric, your opinion first, and then Megan, yours.
I think I know what he's going to say.
I'm a pass.
I knew it.
Yeah, I'm a pass.
Okay.
I knew it.
Megan, do you have an opinion?
I will also pass, but the reason is there's so many other good treats that you can get, like sweet treats, especially this time of year. Like Halloween treats are coming up, and there's going to be so many.
It's just so messy too. I don't know.
And you can't eat it in the park. Like I think that you can get a plastic knife from like any of the quick service restaurants if you wanted to cut into it, but
they break.
They break. It's very very tough.
Do you guys not have the apple cutters
at the parks? No. Do they do that at World?
I think they do over in not all the locations, but so like I would for Disney World, as we're going to go on this tangent, Disney World side, I also would say pass. However, if you get a caramel apple, you have to get it from the Germany pavilion because that is the Werther's caramel store. And that's where they also make them. And then they have a way to be able to, I think, or they used to, I don't know what they still do, but they have a way to like, it's the apple cutter. So that way it's already in slices for you. And then you just pick them up and eat them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. And I would definitely do that. Yes. Especially in the Germany pavilion.
If the tools were there and Disney provided them to help you slice it, then maybe. But as of right now, it's a pass.
It's still a pass.
It's a pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad because they're good and like I like taking them home and they're very pretty, but just they're not the best.
I feel that. All right, Miss Megan, would you like to spin the wheel again next?
Yes, I would love to. We're gonna get some haters for that too, Eric. By the way, there are some candy apple stands out there. Like,
oh my gosh! Wait until they hear about my opinion about churros.
I did. There's an opinion on the Disneyland churros.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Well, we'll see if we get that here on the spin or not. So,
I know. Watch me get it right now. Actually.
Oh my god!
All right. Stop!
No! Oh, the raspberry rose macaroon from Jolly Holiday.
That's fine too. Okay.
So smash or pass, y'all.
I love that it says macaroni.
Macaroni.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
That's funny.
You know what? I think I suggested this one into the Wheel of Destiny, so that wouldn't be surprised if I misspelled it anyway.
Oh my!
I can't spell for the life of me. The macaroni. It's just the southern accent when I do text to speech, and it doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't like couldn't see the wheel, the one right underneath that is a Cozy Cone soft serve, and I have many opinions on that. I'm not going to get to that because that's not what I got, but it was so close. Okay, anyway, so the raspberry Mickey macaroon is definitely a smash. It's one of the best cookies in the parks. It's I think one of the best macaroons in the parks, besides the one for the holidays. I might add, because the Halloween ones are very good, but it is absolutely delicious. It's light, it's fluffy. You can split it between two people if you want. And it's
or you
like
can hug
you
it for
kind of
yourself.
feel like
it's fine.
Or you can have it all for yourself. Absolutely. There are raspberries in it. It's healthy, okay? So yeah.
Whatever works for you, Megan. If you say it is, it's fine.
I'm giving everyone full permission to think it's nutritious because there are raspberries in there. Yes.
There you go. There's worse things you can eat in the park.
Yes,
exactly. What about you, Eric? What do you think?
Definitely a smash for me. I haven't had it in a while, but
same.
One of my friends, actually, Sam, Cali Food Venture, he makes those because he works in the parks. Yeah. He makes those, and he's just like, "Did you like them?" He's like, "Yes, they're amazing. Are you responsible for those?"
Oh
like,
my god!
Yes, I put them together. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love that. Give me more."
That is so cool. I had no idea. Okay.
I know.
He makes literally one of the most popular things in the parks. That's crazy.
Yeah. Which is so cool. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to have these now.
It is one of the few food items that I have had in the park. And I got to say, it do be hitting different when you have it.
It do be hitting.
It's so good. So good. Definitely something, if you're ever planning, if whoever is listening and whatnot, if you were planning on making a trip to Disneyland, add this to your list. It is the raspberry rose macaroon over there at Jolly Holiday off to the left side of Main Street if you're heading towards the castle. So definitely a good suggestion.
And I do recommend jumping on that a little bit early because they can sell out. So
especially
that's what I do
peak
remember
season.
them being selling out pretty quickly, and I got that like pretty early when I went to Disneyland. So yes.
So early in the day. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Eric, it is now your turn to spin the wheel again, and we shall see what we get.
Let us spin the wheel. Spin. Yes. Yes.
Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has landed on the very heated Disney topic.
Is this
From
rigged?
both. This is on both parks. This has opinions on both parks.
Yes,
It is
does.
the infamous Disney turkey leg. Smash or pass, Mr. Eric?
Okay, so
Oh no,
When
there's
it
a story to
comes
this.
when it comes to the regular turkey legs, I think they are way too salty. I think they are way too greasy. But there's the buffalo. I think it was the buffalo turkey leg. I had that and I devoured that.
Where was that
I
at?
absolutely destroyed it. That was at the
Edelweiss
Edelweiss, snacks, like the stand right in front of Matterhorn.
Mm-hmm.
But when I tell you I got that turkey leg and I ate the entire thing in less than 30 minutes, it was amazing. And I dipped it in ranch and I love that. So that one I would smash. All the other ones, like I would definitely pass on. But the flavored ones, I think there was like a smoked turkey leg. There was a buttery buffalo one. And then there was one more. And I think it's at DCA. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it was a different flavor. But like all of them that have flavors on them, I would definitely smash for me.
The Disney
Sounds like a
Worlder over
giant
here being
chicken wing.
shocked of like, there's flavors of turkey legs? I didn't even know this.
I didn't know that. And then as soon as I found out about it, I was like, oh yeah, let me try these. And I can't eat anything else after that because I'm just done for the day.
Got the meat
But
sweats.
yeah, literally the meat sweats. But yeah, I would for this smash.
Selective smash.
Yeah,
And what about you, Megan?
selective smash.
Selective smash.
Yes.
Yeah, I avoid turkey legs like the plague. I say pass. But I have not tried the buffalo one. And I know they just came out with the flavored ones recently. So I have yet to try the buffalo with the ranch. I'm assuming that would just be like a lovely giant wing. And you just eating that with ranch would be very, very good. But they're not for me. They're too greasy. They're too they get your hands really, really dirty. And I don't like that, especially with the nails. And I just like the flavor of them is okay. I'm a carnivore through and through. Like I love my meats, and like I
You just don't
I
love the
understand
meat
why
sweats
people enjoy
afterwards?
it. I'll get the meat sweats, sure. I mean, right now we have a heat wave here, so I wouldn't eat it today. But it's just not. It's not for me. I'm sorry.
It's just
I am
not
going to have to pass.
practical for the parks because it's like I don't want to be carrying around this turkey leg, like just going down Main Street doing that. Yeah, no.
Unless you're a competitive eater or something, it's just like it takes forever to eat it. So I don't want to be carrying it for over an hour.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I would probably also pass.
My spin.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, I think we have time for one more spin on the wheel of destiny.
Spin it.
Yes, Megan's ready. She is ready with her spin. Spin.
Close it going softer. Close it. Yes.
Nice.
I would get excited about all of these, honestly. Like
Yeah.
So,
Giant pickle.
wait. So, for those that are listening, it just landed on the giant pickle in Disneyland. And Megan is so excited. She's over here waving her arms. She's
Smash.
doing her happy dance. So, I think we already know
Okay,
your
so
opinion, Megan.
they do
but
make.
is it
I'm gonna say
or
a smash for
pass?
both the regular version and the spicy version. They do have a spicy pickle over in Disneyland. It's very, very
Eric's
good.
like,
It is like
yes.
once you get to like the bottom of it, it's like, woo, this thing is actually really spicy. But both delicious. They're $3.99. I know that seems like a lot for a pickle, but it's actually kind of cheap for a Disney snack. And it's like one of the healthiest things you can get in the parks because it is a salt, so it actually does help you with your hydration if you're like drinking water at the same time, and it's also low in calories, but you're kind of just it's just so easy to munch on, and if you're a pickle fan, it's like absolutely yes, Smash.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I see. I don't
What
like
about you, Eric?
pickles, so that's why I can't give my 2 cents on this. But
Oh,
I'm
you don't
glad-
like pickles? Okay.
Oh, can't
That's fair.
stand them. Can't stand them at all. Like if I even
I
smell
love
it,
them.
like my rest of my family loves pickles. I am the weird oddball of like for some reason if I smell them or whatever, I'm just like, oh no, can't do it. Can't do
I get it. I get it. Some people don't like it. It's okay.
That's
Oh
all
my
right.
gosh. More for Megan.
Exactly.
More for Megan.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Eric and
Wait, Eric,
Megan,
would
for
you smash or pass?
participating. Say what?
Oh yeah, I didn't even see. No, Smash.
Oh,
okay, good.
Smash.
Okay.
I just assumed
I
it
just
was
wanted
a
to make
smash
sure.
based off his responses.
A smash. It's a smash for me. I want to rope drop the pickle and get the my what
First
is
pickle
it?
of the day.
First pickle of the day. I want to get one of those.
Megan was
ever
telling
since
me
that
about
went
that a couple
viral.
episodes again.
Yes, I had
Yeah.
I had a follower who successfully did it, but
Yeah.
it's difficult. Like you have to be there one of the earliest at the gates because people actually compete for it now, and they will sprint to that
Drop
cart
kick
to
a
be first
kid
pickle
out of the
day.
way.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
it's crazy. It's like you have to have early entry for like
Oh.
one of the hotels.
Or
Oh,
maybe
really?
what
Okay.
you
Yeah.
do is you go on the day. So when holiday season runs around, because isn't the other really big ticket item the gingerbread?
The gingerbread and then the candy canes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Go
okay.
on one of those days where everybody's preoccupied with that, and you go and go towards the pickle instead. That's how you
Do
game
it.
plan it.
That's
Aha.
actually smart. That's actually very smart. Yeah.
Very smart. Okay.
Yep.
I never had the spicy one though. I need to have the spicy one.
Oh, I think you'd like that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I like spice. I like
You
heat.
like the
So
flavor.
that would actually be really good. Okay, cool.
Next trip. That's just a
Yeah.
quick little snack. Yeah.
There you
But-
go. Something that Megan introduced you to. That's so funny.
No, that's very true. Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
now that
right.
you've gotten me hungry and I'm ready for lunch now, and I'm sorry to the rest of our listeners that if you're listening, you're like, "Oh, those sound really good right now." I'm sorry. If I can't do anything to help you with that. I just have to give you imaginary images of Disneyland food right now, and that's what I'm doing right now. But all right. So moving forward, we're going to move away from talking about the foods, Mr. Eric. And we're going to move
Okay.
over towards hearing about your top 5 Disneyland attractions. That's what we wants to know.
Okay.
And
I'm so excited to hear.
I'm interested to hear too, because I feel like Eric, you're a thrill junkie too, like Megan is, right?
I like rides. Lately I've been doing a lot more just food in general and hopping around trying all the new drinks over there. But I still like my roller coasters. I still like the traditional rides over at the Disneyland side as well. So yes, I still like all of my rides. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we talking about the Disneyland side or DCA or as a resort all whole?
A resort
A whole.
hall? Yes.
Okay, cool.
Both parks.
Cool.
Yes, because when we did our list for Disney World, which if you're
Well,
listening and you're like, oh wait, they already talked about Disney World. Yes, that was a couple episodes ago now, where me and Megan broke down our top 10 Disney World attractions, but we included all 4 parks. So for our Disneyland category, we're including both parks, Disneyland and DCA.
Yes.
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 Cool,
And now with your list, Mr. Eric, we do ask that we like to go counting downwards. So if you could start with your number 5 and go towards your number 1, that would be fantastic.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So my 5th one, I feel like a lot of people are going to be very surprised by this, but I think even Megan, whenever I go to DCA, I always suggest this one. It's the Little Mermaid ride.
Yay!
Mostly because it's
Really?
So growing up, one of my favorite movies was The Little Mermaid because there's a certain character in there that's named after me, Prince Eric. So my family growing up would call me Prince Eric whenever I would watch it, and it has like a good like nostalgic feel for me. Plus, right now with this heat wave, the AC feels amazing in there. So
It's amazing. Oh my god.
yeah, that's one of my favorites in the whole resort. So that's gonna be my number 5. And
That is an interesting pick, but I'm glad.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole name reference, that does make sense. That's so fun. See, that's why I love doing this, so that way we can hear
Yep.
the little like tidbits and like the oh yeah, this is why it has an emotional connection to me kind of story. I love that.
yeah,
Exactly. Eric also really likes to see King Triton like I do. in the end scene. He also very much enjoys waving hello.
I've seen those videos. I've seen those
To King
stories on
Triton.
Instagram.
Oh my god. Megan just posted one recently of us getting stuck right where King Triton is at, and I'm just like, oh great. This is inconvenient. Oh my gosh, look at that. So unrealistic. Anyways.
Hey,
Oh
but
my
it gave
God.
you a Halloween costume idea. So,
It did. I'm gonna be Triton adjacent.
Triton adjacent.
Bat Triton.
That's hilarious.
Oh, but
That is
yeah.
funny.
No, I love that.
I'm
I love that you
learning
put
more
that
and
in
more
your top
about y'all.
5. Oh yeah.
My goodness.
Oh, that's good.
Yay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Love
Well,
that
what
Little
is your
Mermaid
number
is in
4
there.
then, Mr. Eric?
Number 4 is going to be, I don't go on this ride too often, but because there's always a long line, I feel. But it's Soarin'. Again, that has a
really?
personal connection with me and my family growing up, because that was one of our first rides we'd go on whenever we'd go to DCA. You go in, go to the right, and then go on Soarin'. And that basically set up our whole like Disney day, is just being over there with the family. My dad would always sit to the right with me. My sister would always sit to the left. My mom was over on the other side with my dad, obviously. So I was always kind of like in the middle. So it was one of those like happy memories when just like going over California, going over all these amazing places that growing up I was like, man, I'm never gonna go to any of these places, but now I'm like, I kind of want to go. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's another favorite. Again, I don't go on it as much. I really should. But I just get preoccupied doing other stuff. So
I've one thing. So they just added single rider, which is also, it's very good. But unfortunately, you're always stuck in the third row. So you're looking at feet the entire time usually.
You guys have a
And
single
then,
rider line?
Yes, they just put it in a couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I had no idea
I know,
that was
isn't that
even a
cool?
thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's like it's off to the side, little line, but yeah, you can go single rider, and it's usually there's nobody in it, so it's kind of nice that they always have at least 1 or 2 seats open every loop, so it is kind of nice. And then, do you prefer California or World? Is the main question.
California.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I
As
mean, it's
us
still on.
Californians do.
I
Yeah.
know. I'll still go on it, and I still like World, but California, obviously, just because we live here.
No, agreed. I fully agree. Yeah, and I still
Yeah.
think that we should get California, and Epcot should stick with World, and that would make more sense.
That would make so
Yes,
much
yes,
sense.
yes, it would.
And
Yes, it would.
just to break it up a little bit between the two, like that. Now,
Yeah.
I knew there for a hot second they did bring back Soarin' over California, and then it disappeared
Yeah.
again, right?
They do that for Food and Wine every year. For some reason, it's, I guess, more of a California thing, the Food and Wine Festival. So they bring it back for those 8 to 9 weeks, and then it's gone again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, I couldn't remember. I keep seeing bits and pieces of it. Like whenever it does come back, I'll see somebody post about it on their Instagram story. I'm like, so like, how long does this actually stick around for? Okay, that makes sense though. So it comes
Yeah.
back seasonally as part of your festival over there.
Yes. It's the most wonderful time of the year when whenever California comes back for a little bit.
Because your Food and Wine season is not the same as Disney World's Food and Wine season, right? Yours is in
No,
the
we're like
spring?
No.
opposite. We're March to April, and then your guys' is, I think, a little bit later. Yeah.
So when our Flower and Garden Festival is kicking off, your Food and Wine Festival is kicking off.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Got to get out of that Epcot mindset, and I got to get them all confused and whatnot. But
Yeah, a little
yes,
bit different.
Okay, but I love that selection there, Eric. See, look
Me
at you getting
too.
with the emotional connections with the two.
I like-
I love
I like
those.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about a number 3 for you?
All right. So number 3, Incredicoaster. I
Oh,
love it.
yay.
I love myself an Incredicoaster. So that one, it's just a good thrill ride. I love the look when we go upside down, the little loop-de-loop. I like the drops. I just recently discovered, thanks to Jessica, I like filming it whenever I go over there. If you put your phone over to your right hand side, you can film the entire thing going in a circle. You just have to hold onto your phone really, really tight.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. If
Mhm.
not, it's gonna go flying all over the place. But yeah. But yeah, it's one of my favorites over there. I feel like whenever I get in line, it goes by pretty quickly as well. And if it doesn't, just get a beer and you go over there or get a snack.
Just hang
Yep.
out, talk
Oh,
with
yeah.
whoever you're with in line, and just wait.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the line moves fast usually. They also have single rider. It's
Yeah.
overall just a very good ride. I fully
Yeah.
agree with that. Nice. I love it.
What is your next one, Mr. Eric?
We're at 2 now. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
2.
number
Yes.
2.
2. I like Space Mountain. Space Mountain's a good one.
Yay!
Yeah.
Space
That's-
Mountain.
That's what I'm saying. I still have some family memories on that one as well, because when we would go to Disneyland side, like Creatures of Habit, we always go straight and to the right. So Tomorrowland was the place we would always go to whenever we'd start off our Disney trips. I actually worked in Tomorrowland as a cast member back in 2012 to
Really?
2013.
Yeah.
I was Astro Orbiter, Captain EO when the theater was still working, and then our third rotation was glasses cleaning. So every single 3D glasses that were in the resort, we cleaned them. But my last movie preview that was in the theater was, I believe, Baymax. So that was the
Big
last
Hero
one.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the very, very last one. So I was like, all right, cool. That was it for us. But yeah, that's one of my favorite rides over there. It's just a good thrill ride.
Oh yeah.
But
I know
yeah, and then
Megan
they
has
have
a lot of opinions on it.
single
She loves
rider. Yeah, and they have single rider over there too. So that's nice.
Yes, they do. It's a great single
Yeah.
rider line. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
I
that's
can't
my
give my
favorite.
opinion on it. I think it looks pretty from the outside, but that's another one I do not ride. I do not do it. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh,
Not at
that's
all.
right.
You gotta try
yeah.
ours, Danielle. It's so fun. It's
I
like
can't even do ours, and mine's the grandpa
Yeah, okay, but
version of
that's the
y'all's
thing.
Space Mountain.
no. So your Space Mountain is a way harsher. That's like our Matterhorn. It's way harsher than ours. This one over here on the West Coast is like smooth, and it just doesn't. It doesn't feel
Does it
like
still
a
go
crazy
whoa,
roller coaster.
whoa, whoa? Yeah, no. And then it's in the dark, and then it's still
It's dark.
spoopy. Absolutely not.
Okay. I think you've got to try if you're ever in the West Coast for Hyperspace Mountain, which they will bring back at some point. I think you
Yeah.
got to try that one because that one's fun. It's like Star Wars themed. They do like projections and stuff. It's cool. Yeah.
Well, then, what about your number one, Mr. Eric? What is your Disneyland Parks and Resorts number one attraction?
Real quick before we get to Eric's number 1, you can also find him at Beastly Appetite on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube as well. Yeah.
and Threads. Yeah.
And Threads. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, good job
My-
remembering the plug there, Megan. Good job.
Yeah.
I love that. My favorite one, my top one, this one creeped up over the year I've had my pass, and also throughout the entire time. It's Guardians.
I knew that. I knew it.
It's mostly because I don't like drops. I don't like drops that just go up and down. That's why at Knott's Supreme Scream, that ride that just goes all the way down, I will never go on that ride because you're straight up just looking out into the world. I'm like, I can't do that. But Guardians, they do such a good job of making those drops just happy, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I
got great
I don't
music to
know.
it,
Like
too.
whenever
Music. Yeah.
whoever was the engineer for that whole thing, like they did an amazing job just with their drop sequence and pairing the music with just how the ride goes. Also, it's just one of my favorite Marvel movies, Guardians. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of my favorites. But,
Yeah.
For those that are listening
I
in, I
know.
just mentioned Cosmic Rewind. That's the one that's over in Disney World in Epcot. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which was y'all's Tower of Terror turned into a Guardians of the Galaxy themed ride. For those that are listening and are not aware, so that when we say when he says Guardians for Disneyland, that is the one that he is mentioning.
yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it is kind of interesting how like the drops do go with the music and
Yeah.
whatever's going on in that ride. It's kind of like the same thing on Cosmic Rewind when the coaster turns as you're supposed to be like looking at something. You know, it's all methodical, it's all well thought out.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of people do prefer our Guardians over our former Tower of Terror, because I know a lot of people that would not even set foot on Tower of Terror. Just because
I avoided that.
it was scary. Like it was like a scary kind of ride. But now with this new theme, it's like way more fun. You know, you got Jackson 5 as one of the songs. It's I get it. It is more fun.
All right. Well, anything else that you would like to add, Eric, before we have you sign on off so me and Megan can continue on with finishing up of our episode? And we're so happy you were here, by the way. I'm so happy that you responded back and you're like, yeah, I want to hop on and join us.
Of course I do. Anytime I get a chance to talk about Disney with you two, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So yes, I'm so happy about it. So happy about it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. If you guys need a good place to poop, go over to my page and find it there.
Wait, go ahead and say what your ad is one more time for everybody else that's listening and whatnot.
Beastly Appetite.
On Instagram,
on
TikTok.
On all platforms, Beastly Appetite.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, we just keep it easy for them. We were able to secure the same usernames for all the things. So that way it's easy for them to track us down and find us.
Oh, I was so happy for that. Yeah.
Jumped on that username. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
very nice. Well, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, if I end up getting out there, we have not confirmed. I cannot confirm or deny. But if eventually, if I get out there, I'm going to run into you again and we'll have to hang out, my guy.
Yes, please. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds good. Till next time. Bye.
Thanks, Eric.
Till next time.
Well, Danielle, it's about that time. We have our top 5 Disneyland Resort attractions to get into, and I'm super excited to see what you have in your top spots. I think a lot of people. I'm going to be predictable. I'm the predictable one because I talk about it all the time on live streams and TikTok, and I even spoiled it on my Instagram stories, and I was called out for that the other day. So I'm sorry if y'all. Oh, I totally spoiled it. Yeah, because I was bored at work, and I was like, ask me anything, and they're like, oh, what are your top, blah blah blah. Yeah, I totally spoiled it. So y'all probably already know my top 2 choices.
I love that the podcast fam also called you out to be like, no, we were waiting until the next episode for you to tell us.
What are you doing? I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
I'm
bored Megan,
and my brain's not working.
Well, I did love Eric's list, and so another shout out to our friend Beastly Appetite and how fantastic he is, and we check out his content and all of his other. He talks about totally different stuff than me and Megan do, and so I feel like it's another nice little peppering into the content mix. But before we jump in and you start us off on what our 5 through 1 is, can you recap for us what your 10 through 6 is, and then I'll recap mine.
Yes, great idea. Yes, of course. My number 10 was Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. And my number 9, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over in Toontown. Number 8, Pirates of the Caribbean, a classic attraction at Disneyland. Number 7, another classic, was Haunted Mansion. And my number 6 was Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. Yes. And how about yours? My
number 10 was the Disneyland Railroad. Mm-hmm. Number 9 was the show World of Color. Number 8 was Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Number 7 was Peter Pan's Flight. Number 6 for me was the Silly Symphony Swings.
Love that.
Now, I'll be interested to see what your 5 through 1 is, so I think we should go ahead and jump right on into that.
All right. Nice. Perfect.
So go ahead and get us started, Miss Megan.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Megan, do you want to start off on our top 5 or should I?
I mean, if I may, I'd love to start off.
I say go for it.
All right, let's do it. So my number 5 is going to be probably a surprise to none. It's Radiator Springs Racers, because as much as I don't really go on that ride, again, because the line's super long all the time, I do single rider when I can. I do love it. I think when it's working, it's a great ride, and it does break down quite a bit, but just the fact that you go through, the beautiful scenery of Radiator Springs, and you get to see the cars and everything, and they're talking to you, and you race. It's a well done ride, and for sure deserves a top 5 spots in the list. So that's why it's there at number 5. How about you, Danielle?
Well, mine's definitely, I don't know. I feel like this is a random one that people are just gonna be like, wait, what? Why?
Oh,
y'all,
excited.
My number 5, it's Jesse's Critter Carousel over in Pixar Pier.
That's so you, though. I love that.
Love this carousel so much. You have no idea. I'm not even a big like Toy Story fan at all. But so there is Jesse's Critter Carousel, and it's over it like next to like, so when everybody else is in line for Incredicoaster, oh no, man, I'm going with the 5-year-olds and I'm riding Jesse's Critter Carousel, and I'm gonna go grab myself a weird looking deer or a snake or one of them. I'm gonna just sit
or
on
a
them.
skunk. Yeah.
The skunk, the backwards skunk. And I like, again, I am not a big Toy Story fan. However, one of my favorite songs that did not make the top 10 or 15 list, but it was very, very close, is Woody's Roundup.
Yep.
Love Woody's Roundup, and all the songs that are sung in this carousel I am obsessed with, and it brings me way too much joy. So the past couple times that we have been to Disneyland, or I've been to Disneyland, I've been on this a couple times, and I don't know, it just brings me too much joy.
Oh, I love
so
it.
Cute.
No.
The theming's so cute.
The theming's so cute with Jessie out front, and you got all the critters, and you could just, choose your. I love the way the critters look is absolutely adorable.
The armadillo.
The armadillo. Yeah, there's so many good ones. So yeah, I love that, and I love that you put it in your top 5. Oh my gosh. It's so dapper, Danielle.
Barely beat out my silly symphony swings from my number 6.
That's right, which is also a great ride. All right, so my number 4 was kind of the one that almost made the list for Walt Disney World, because we both have it, and it's Rise of the Resistance over in Galaxy's Edge. And the reason I put it in top 5 for Disneyland is because it is the first Rise of the Resistance I ever went on, and I was there, I believe, on the second or third day it opened, and I did the virtual queue where everyone was either having a panic attack or cheering, very loudly that they got a spot in the virtual queue to ride
and gnashing of teeth. And
I saw grown men having full-on meltdowns that they did not get a virtual queue that day. It was a sight to behold, and I happened to get it. I did go on it later in the evening. I think it broke down a few times that day, so I was lucky to do it, one of the last rides, and thought it was the most spectacular thing I've ever seen as a Star Wars fan myself. So I do love going on it whenever I get to. I do not wait in that line ever. So if someone has a lightning lane, or if I'm able to join a group that has, the lightning lane or something like that, or if I see that it's a 20-minute wait at, 8:30 p.m., absolutely. But other than that, I think it's just a great attraction. Imagineers did a great job, and I know it breaks down a lot, but when it's working, it's fabulous. So
yes, and ours breaks down a lot too here at Disney World. I don't know, it's just, I think it's such an in-depth and such a crazy ride of like how much detail goes into it. I don't know. I know here in Disney World, I think we complain all the time that it fries the electrical system, and that's why it keeps going down. So I assume it probably has very similar reasonings over there in Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good choice, though.
Thank you very much. How about your number 4, Danielle?
My number 4 was in your list earlier.
Oh,
Mater's Junkyard Jamboree.
Yay! Oh, I love that it's at 4.
Cable guy and his attempt to speak Spanish with the por favor montañas. And I love it so much. And I don't know, last time I did go on it, I feel like I did get whiplash, but I was happy about it.
It thrashes you around, but you do it with a smile on your face.
It's true. And they're just so cute and so funny, the little tractor cows, and they're hilarious. I love the theming. I think it's really what it boils down to. This was one of the first attractions we went on when I was there last for Disney's California Adventure. It was our California Adventure Day with Dapper Mom and Dad, and they had not been on this attraction before. And Dad, I think, was a little too shook up by it last time, and he was getting whipped around a little too much. He's like, my butt's bruised after that. And I was like, it was great. And yeah, it's so very, very funny. But that was one of our first attractions we did when we were there last. So near and dear to my heart.
I love it. Yay. Oh, it's definitely, it's one of my faves as well. That's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, getting into our top 3 here. My number 3 is, again, this probably comes as no surprise to anyone that follows me. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And probably needs no explanation other than that I love my thrill rides. It's such a fun drop ride, gets the adrenaline going every single time, and just the theming of it with the songs It's great, and another one that I very much enjoy going on when I'm over in DCA. So it is number 3 for me.
And you guys have ridden that ride together a couple times, right?
Oh yeah, very much so. And we both scream at the top of our lungs and also giggle at the same time, just how crazy it is, So
I love that. I love
it's fun. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, mine is not a drop ride or anything scary by any means for my number 3. It's actually quite the opposite. My number 3 is the Alice in Wonderland dark ride over there in Fantasyland.
Oh.
It's just a classic. I love the additions when it got updated and they added in a little bit of the screens. They kind of brought a little more revitalization to it and whatnot. I'm really tied in that element. I always thought it was such a cool attraction with the history and what it meant to Fantasyland at the time and whatnot. And now that I'm older and I still just really like this attraction. This is the one that I will probably wait in line for quite regularly. And that's why I did move up so high to the number 3 spot, was because this is one of the rides I will wait in line for.
Yeah, definitely. It usually does. It gets a good line going for sure. It is unique to Disneyland and it has a lot of history. I really do enjoy going on that ride. I love coming up on the second level. I think that was one of the coolest things as a kid, being on the top level there. So yeah, I love that, Danielle. Okay.
Thank you.
Alice at 3. Ugh. And I love that, it's, Disneyland specific. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Like super niche Disneyland specific.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, we are down to our top 2, and my number 2, I feel like I'm being super predictable, but it is Incredicoaster at DCA. And again, I love my roller coasters. I love the front row. The front row on Incredicoaster is like nothing else. I literally
Absolutely
have the geekiest smile. The little dorkiest smile on my face. It messes up my hair every time. And I do like the re-theme. I thought it was very, very well done when it came from California Screamin' to Incredicoaster. So, yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love Jack? We
love Jack, yes. And he has multiple of him as you're going down those little, the 3 little drops. You hear his giggle. It's so cute. So, yep, there it is at 2. Mm-hmm.
Well, my number 2 is going to be, again, that was in yours earlier, is going to be Indiana Jones.
Oh, yay. Okay.
So again, it keeps breaking down. It's like, even when I went and took Dapper Mom and Dad, we waited. We didn't have a fast pass or anything, so we waited in the regular queue. And literally, as we're getting into the last room of the queue line, the ride shuts down.
Oh, gosh.
And we get evac'd out.
No.
And so, but luckily we did get a return time so that we could come back and not have to wait through the crazy long line again. And that was very much a blessing. And I still love that attraction. It is so well done, even though the track is almost a copy and paste of our Dinosaur. But even Dinosaur here in Disney World, that was up higher on my list too. And I think it's because I appreciate so much of the understanding of how the ride operates and how that vehicle is so unique and whatnot. Yeah. I think it's very, very cool. But I have not seen the updates and the projection updates and whatnot. So that is on my list of, I got to go check that out next time I'm there.
Yes, I think you're going to love it. I personally love what they did with the updates. The snake is working again, so that's exciting. Because it wasn't working for the longest time. But yeah. That's so awesome that you put it too. It is a really, really unique attraction. And it's, again, so much fun to go on it. The queue still scares me, so I will say that. But
well, one of our followers said that it has been removed during the update. The piece was removed. Supposedly. I don't know if that's accurate, but
I haven't seen it since I've been on the updates. So I think enough people complained. I was not one of them. Trust me, as scared as I was, I braved that thing. I never complained about it. But I think it received enough complaints, probably from like kids or something, that it was just too much. So because it was loud. It got loud in that room.
Yeah. Well, and it just echoed surprising over there too.
So yeah, but that's good to know. Okay. All right.
Well, before we jump into our number ones, though, y'all, again, before we go any further, thank you so much for sticking around and listening to this episode. I feel like this is going to be one of our longer ones because, Eric, we just have such a good time and we talk for so long.
Yeah, I know.
But for those of you, thank you again for hanging out. And for those of you that have joined our Patreon, and we're going to be, again, doing another live virtual Zoom here very soon in our Patreon family. You will be having more details here in the not so far future. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, the TikTok, the Threads at Disney Countdown Show, and then Pod Disney over on the Twitter and X. And then I am the Dapper Danielle. I realized I don't think we even introduced ourselves in the beginning of this episode. Did we?
I don't think so. We didn't talk about our socials. I think we just said our names and our handles, but we didn't talk about like where we are.
We've become so casual at this now, Megan.
I know.
But so I am the Dapper Danielle on the Instagram, TikTok, YouTubes, and all the other things, just not on the Twitters.
Yes.
But it is the Dapper Danielle. And then Megan is the magical millennial _ for Instagram, TikToks, and the same things.
Yes, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, okay. Now continue. What is your number one, Miss Megan? Now that we got all the technical housekeeping out of the way.
Yeah. yes. So my number one is Space Mountain, and I've been saying it for years. It is my number one. It's just my favorite ride. Every time I come off that ride, I'm like, I love that. I love that ride. It's my favorite. It just, especially on the front row, for some reason, I love the front row of these roller coasters. Again, it just makes me so happy. It just gives me, you know.
You talked about it. You talked about it so much with Eric, and then you've also talked about it so much with, on the Disney World, comparing the Disney World version of it to the Disneyland version in our other episodes and whatnot. So I feel like nobody's surprised by this, but that works. It's on brand for you. You're being consistent, Megan.
Thank you. Yes, it's very on brand. I have done Magic Kingdoms. I'm sorry, I do not enjoy it. I think it's very harsh. So sorry for all you Magic Kingdom Space Mountain fans. Ours is better. I've been on the one in Paris, and that was like similar to Rock and Roller Coaster. It was very loopy, and it's Hyperspace Mountain over there. And I just love that we have some layovers sometimes, or some overlays. Like we used to have Ghost Galaxy. Hyperspace Mountain comes back from time to time. So yeah, it's my fave. What can I say?
There you go. There you go.
All right. I'm so excited to hear yours, though.
My number one is actually one that you mentioned not too long ago. And I think, was this in Eric's top 5? It might have been. Radiator Springs Racers.
Yeah.
That is my number one, because I do love, it has a little bit of the thrill, because again, I am not the crazy thrill ride girly, but it has a little bit of that speed factor. The theming and the storyline immersion in this attraction, I think, is really what impresses me so much. And the animatronics. Mm-hmm. And you definitely feel like you're transported into Cars Land, and that you are a part of their group, and that you're traveling down with them. I think that is so cool and so well done, and that is why it received my number one top spot in our Disneyland attractions countdown.
Woo! And I think you are joined by a lot of people there, Danielle. It is many people's number one ride.
So let us know. I think over on Spotify, we have a little poll up. If you're joining us for this episode, there should be a poll up of, do you like Megan's list? Do you like Danielle's list? Like, let us know. Are you more of the thrill seeker like Megan is, or do you like some more of the chill rides like I do? Let us know. And then also don't forget to rate, review, comment, all that other good stuff, or even just send us a DM or ask us a question over on the Pod Disney Countdown Show. Let us know. Or if you have any other ideas or something that you want to hear or ask us about, let us know. We want to have those conversations with y'all.
Yes, please. We love to hear your thoughts and opinions on, our choices and what we talk about. So please let us know, because I love reading the reviews and seeing what y'all have to say. So thanks for leaving those.
Yes. Well, Miss Megan, I think that was another good episode in the books.
Yes.
I love that Eric was able to come in and join us too, and we were able to just chill out and have a nice conversation also.
Oh, me too. It's always so fun talking to him. So yeah, that was awesome.
Well, anything else that we need to say before we go ahead and tell them good night?
I think that's all we got for today. Happy Halloween, everybody, at the parks.
Or beginning of the Halloween spooky
Beginning
season
of it.
anyway.
Yes, that's right. Yep. All right. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a very magical day.
And until next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. I'm still bitter at Chris for giving me the hard questions in the game.
That
though.
was so funny.
Sorry about that.
It's
No,
okay,
that
Chris.
was
You're
so-
forgiven.
That was so funny. I was like...